it's time for another tutorial, demonstration of how smart the feds are. I have known for a long time that my internet, cell phone, everything is completely controlled by the feds, and I get no incoming email of any kind, anything to do with the internet or cell calls that isn't planned by them. And it's got to be law enforcement, somebody in law enforcement acting like they're somebody else, or a proxy of law enforcement trying to get me to do something illegal. And here's an example of how this all works. Here was Advantric, which is the S. Rankin from elance.com, who I'm allegedly writing articles for. This is the Advantric information on Advantric, who has a blank display on their website. It just says Advantric in the corner. Now we're going to find out a little bit more about Advantric here. Now, first of all, you'll notice that the registrar for the domain name is GoDaddy.com, which is a named defendant in the proceedings of CV07000110, which I've mentioned before. And we've got a guy in Australia who's using a server in Washington, D.C. There's the IP address. Now, I know that my every other text of anything that I send over the internet can be altered easily. My computer's been corrupted by the same people that are going to get me, or have gotten me, to send attachments to S. Rankin through elance.com, and that's this gentleman here, who happens to be in Australia. Now, why would a guy in Australia be using a server in DC? Well, the answer should be obvious. Like I said, there's people who work for the government, there's people working for the government pretend to be somebody else, and then there's proxies. Now, I was surprised earlier that that the solicitation for these rewrites of these articles came from out of the country, because none of my calls to Capital One, for instance, or stay in the United States, they all go out of the jurisdiction. Argentina and Philippines are popular spots. So let's look at the domain history. Now, these are the web pages that were displayed at certain times. So I'm going to hit thumbnail history to see what other websites, and look what comes up. This keeps coming up. WhiteHouse.com. This is the official website of the president. Now, watch this. If I change it back to Advantric, see, it changes itself. Advantric. Now we got it back to Advantric.com. Hit search, and boom, turns into WhiteHouse.com again. No matter how many times I do that and change it back to Advantric, I keep getting the White House website. Now we're back to NASA. And earlier I was getting White House, where the president lives. So what my suspicion is that these emails, and attachments, which I've sent to S. Rankin, the rewrites of the articles that we've agreed on for me to rewrite for payment, $225. Those attachments that I've sent to him are actually going back to the server in Washington, D.C. They're being altered as everything else is, and they'll wind up in just the right places with government officials, who are the ones that are controlling my communications in the first place. So what comes out at the other end, I have no idea. I haven't had any idea what my emails actually say when they're received for 15 months, and probably maybe even longer than that, for all I know. But that's an example of what's going on here. I'm trying to do just some rewrites through elance.com. I can't post them all, so I have to send attachments, and I've been doing the best I can. But this is a setup. There's no doubt about it.